Highest converting sales funnels aren't always the best looking, but today I want to share a pet care company that is using the visual appeal to engage its audience, get further conversions, more subscriptions for its products, and really explaining its process, but also the benefits of that in a great way. So let's check. Czekanski. I'm a funnel specialist and a direct response copywriter where every single week I'm breaking down a sales funnel and showing you the best practices that you can use for your online marketing so that you can get more leads and customers in the door and get more of your ad spend and ad dollars to work for you. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that every time I come out with content every single week, you'll be the first to know. Let's jump into this week's funnel, which is from BarkBox.
Package room for my building most recently, and usually when you look around, all you see is a sea of Amazon boxes. But what I saw trickled in most recently were these Bark boxes. I had no idea what they were, but recently working with a client within the pet industry, I learned that last year, people spent over $69 billion on their dogs during that year alone. So huge part of the market. And as I looked around and saw all these Bark boxes, I had to check it out and see what their marketing looked like. And that's what I'm going to do today, and walking you through their marketing to get a better idea of how are potential consumers going out there and treating their dogs with this special goodie box that they can get from BarkBox. So let's hop in and look at their marketing, kind of look at their funnel a little bit, show you what it looks like in detail, what's working well, where can they see some improvements, and you'll get a good sense of how this company is continuing to grow pretty quickly within a very rapidly growing part of the market. With their kind of traffic. So this is a company that is advertising everywhere, but I want to really highlight their Facebook ads as a way, really visually kind of capturing people's attention and getting them into their website and their funnel, and getting more of their boxes sold every single month. So they have a variety of different Facebook ads, which you can check out in Facebook ads library, but I just want to highlight one of them that really caught my attention. So you can see on the left here, obviously around the presidential election, which is very relevant, to people right now as they go out and vote, and obviously kind of capturing the news as well. So this company is really using that to its advantage and really creating kind of two dog toys just specifically that you can include in their little box that comes each and every month. So BarkBox is something that includes like a couple of dog toys, some dog treats, along with a bunch of other things that you can kind of customize based upon your dog. But this kind of caught my attention, and especially, as you kind of scroll through the feed and you see kind of just these two toys, it's tough not to kind of stop the scroll and check it out a little bit more. So just looking at the graphic here, you got Joe Biden and Dogwald as the two characters, and you can kind of choose one to add to your box. So pretty funny how they put that together and kind of use that as part of their marketing. One of the things that you have, kind of throughout their copy, they have, very simple Facebook ad copy. So now that's one of the things that they could improve upon, is adding a little bit more in terms of their ad copy to maybe tell their brand story a little bit more, or to make it a little bit more funny, along with kind of their political toys to make a kind of a play on words there. So usually they only have a few lines here in their ad copy. Again, they're kind of using those images to stop people scroll and hoping that you push forward and click through the links. But obviously could add a little bit more to that ad copy in terms of telling their brand story, telling about some success stories that they might have had with their customers as well. So some opportunity, especially with kind of the text up here, to kind of add to some of the very good visuals that they have in terms of videos and other things that they have out there. But kind of just the starting point, again, a very good visual within the news feed that'll stop your scroll and getting you thinking about clicking through to that link. So this is kind of the starting point, using Facebook ads and a variety of other channels to get people to their website and to some of their offers there. So let me take you to the next step of the process in terms of their website to show you what they're doing. Facebook ad, and what this takes me to is just looks like a landing page on their website. So kind of goes through, number one thing is kind of very congruent with their Facebook ads. So you can see in the middle kind of the toys that they talked about in their ads. So that's very important in terms of making sure that anybody kind of clicks through that ad, make sure that whatever they land on, there is some kind of congruency to that. So it's not, if there's something completely different, then you're going to throw people off, lead to some confusion, and they're going to just click away. So the good part is kind of connecting their landing page with their ad really important to kind of keep that flow together and to kind of allow people to see that they're in the right place altogether. And the right-hand side kind of showing a little bit more of what they're trying to do. So you can see within the BarkBox that comes through on a monthly basis, they have some kind of toy, and then they have other kind of treats that go along with that that you can have in there. So, for this month's promotion, you can get one of these toys, and either the Trump one or the Biden one to put in there. So, good way of doing that. The only thing I would say in terms of going straight to a website is it's something that I tend not to suggest for my clients. The reason is that you have all these other things that your customers can click on. They can look at these other brands. They can look at get started, all those kind of things. You want to give your consumers as few of a choices as possible. So if they come to this page, like let's give them one option. Either they sign up for your box and give them a variety of different options, or have them click off the page. Like, if you give your consumers too many options, then you're going to lose. Number one, you're not going to be able to see the kind of tie sales to your immediate Facebook ads, but also it kind of overwhelms the consumer. Like, where exactly should I go? Keep bright blue colors. So on the top right here, it might be something distracting. Again, looking at other brands that might take them away and kind of lose the sale as well. So think about it. Anytime you're running Facebook ads or any other online ads, that you only have your consumer and prospects' attention for a short period of time. And you kind of have to take them by the hand and let them know what are those exact steps that you want to take them to. But if you lead them to a website and you're giving them a variety of different options, what you're going to tend to see is that you're going to lose that consumer as they get distracted by other things or clicking through some of the pages, and your chance for a sale just isn't going to happen. So, keep that in mind as well. The other thing is, in terms of like all these other actions. So I came to this page and all of a sudden we got a new pop-up here in terms of the new themes. I appreciate that they're trying to collect email addresses, but again, if you throw all these different distractions in front of people, it's going to lose the sale again as you go through that. But that would be kind of one of the main things, is keep it simple. Like, what explicit action did you want to set up in your Facebook ads? Do you want them to do on this page? Again, either have them take that action or leave the page. If you give them a variety of different options, you're going to tend to lose them as you go through. So just keep that in mind as you go through. And in terms of this pop-up, it's tough to even see, like, how do I even click through as well. So what I would do is just either claim option. You can obviously give a gift. They're trying to share some of this as well. Maybe those are the only two options I would have on the page more than anything else. One of the other things that this company is doing a lot of is using discounting to get people in the door versus kind of really telling their story and building a relationship with their prospects. So see this a lot with kind of e-commerce companies where they're kind of leading with discounts all the time, but instead of doing that, kind of trying to build a relationship and kind of differentiating your product is going to be the best longer term strategy in doing that. And the best way to do that is, kind of with email, but also kind of sharing what's unique about your product. And I think there's a lot of things unique about, their BarkBox and how they can go out there and differentiate themselves as well. So if you're an e-commerce company trying to get away from discounts as much as possible, is a great, let's try and do that as much as possible, and kind of in replace of that, try and build a relationship with your audience by telling your brand story, a little bit more about some of the success stories that are out there. I've seen it in my own experience how BarkBox has all these different customers going out there and finding testimonials, sharing some of their stories, and by doing that, you're going to really build that trust over time and kind of differentiate yourself from all those other monthly dog goodie boxes that are out there. So, that was kind of the first few comments in terms of the landing page. What I wanted to do is kind of go through some of the buttons that might here. I was going to click through to this free bonus toy. What that'll do is give you a better sense of how they're trying to collect information from their consumers and trying to build that relationship over time. So let me start by doing that. Seems like just because of the color that's the step they want me to take. In terms of the overall page, you have other ones in blue. So just in guessing in all the choices that I'm out here, they want me to select this one. Here it comes to a page where they're asking a little bit more information about the dogs. And here's where they go through a series of questions that really collects a lot of the good information that they would have from leads to put the right offer in front of them to kind of sell specific, boxes and services that might be relevant to them. So what I would suggest to them is, instead of sending people directly to a landing page, try and insert that quiz right away. So anybody that clicks on that ad, send them to these lists of questions so you can really personalize that landing page, that offer to the dog that they have, whatever their interests are, so that it really comes through. Try to get this step a little bit quicker so that you're not really just hoping that people click on that big yellow button and they do it every single time. And what that's going to do is you can be a little bit more specific and segmented in terms of what offers you're putting in front of the leads that you have, but also to kind of continue that relationship down the line. So in their email sequence that they have, they can put out specific things relevant to that dog breed or how big their dog is, all those kind of things. We'll go through the different options in a second, but the more information that you have from your prospects, the more you can be a little bit more specialized, speak to them directly in the dog that they have, and give them stuff that's relevant for that. So again, the more specific you can be, the more likely you are going to really build that relationship over time, put the right stuff in front of them, and it's going to really get to the point where you don't have to rely on free toys and discounts to get people in the door, because you have so much information about them and you're really speaking their language and what they want for their dog overall. So think about kind of moving this quiz up to the point where it's kind of the first step, instead of sending them to a landing page where they have a lot of different options and you have the opportunity to kind of get distracted. So let's just go through this. I'll give you a sense of some of the questions and what they're collecting. So I'll just go right in the middle there. I'll choose the Donald Trump toy, and then I'll just put a name in there. So my dog's name is Sylvester. My imaginary dog's name is Sylvester. I'll put it in here. So I'll continue. What dog breed? So I'll just say he's a chocolate lab. And then continue. So again, they're kind of getting a lot of good information. They're being more specific as they go along. I'll just say he was born June 15th, 2017. Yeah, so again, being more specific, does he have any allergies? So I'll say he has a turkey allergy, so don't send me any products around that. So again, putting the right offer in front of them. So if their dog has some kind of allergy, you don't want to be putting specific products in front of them that doesn't really match up with that. So again, clicking along with that. So I'll just put in my email address here, and I'll continue. And here's kind of the good part, is they're getting you to the point where, okay, where are they pushing you to? So obviously you can buy one specific box on a monthly subscription, but also getting a longer term subscription as well. 12 months, 6 months, they're pushing you to the most popular one in terms of that 12-month here. So again, pushing people to give you more money up front is really a great way of doing that. They're discounting those longer term subscriptions a little bit, and that's what you should do as well, especially if they're going to pay up front. So again, you're collecting a little bit more, getting that average order value as high as possible. And by doing that, you're going to have more money to spend on your online ads and kind of crowd out the competition as much as possible, because you're getting 12-month or 6-month subscriptions versus the rest of your competitors, which are kind of just getting that month-over-month subscription. So the more money you have up front from your consumers, the more money you have to spend on your online ads and really invest that into your business. So a great way of doing it in terms of like giving your consumers options, but also showing the level of savings that they would have along the way, kind of just making it really, really easy, whether I want the free bonus toy or not. It seems like it's the most, like if I'm going to have 12 months of this subscription anyway, might as well pay that up front and save $3 a month, all told. So, and then again, using some of the information that they already have in terms of their guarantees. So if my dog Sylvester isn't 100% happy with it, they'll give me my money back as well. So I think that was a great way of doing that. I think one thing that I did notice in terms of if I just go forward with a 12-month subscription, one of the other things is they're adding additional offers. So, adding the fact that you can actually add additional toys. So again, adding their average order value as much as possible by putting extra, toys in there. So again, making it very customize in terms of using my dog's name. So I'll just say yes, please to that offer. And then you kind of get a little bit more complicated, into the specific one that you want for your dog as well. So I'll choose that Halloween theme and I'll go through that. So here we get to the checkout page, and I actually went through this already and actually just clicked off the page. And what I recognized is that this company doesn't have kind of abandoned cart sequence. So that's something that you should always have, especially if you have an order form of any kind. If somebody comes to this page and for whatever reason they get distracted or they just don't finish the whole process, especially because you have their email address, that's where you can go out to them and, send them a series of automated messages that says, hey, just a reminder, you still have this, card out there. Why don't you go back to it? Here's the link to it. Just making it as easy as possible so they actually complete the purchase. You'd be surprised how many people go into their cart and for whatever reason don't finish that. So the additional step and just putting out an automated email sequence that you don't really have to do anything for to kind of contact those people that you already have their email addresses for just makes it really easy. So again, that this could be thousands or millions of dollars for this company that they're kind of leaving on the table because they just haven't set up that automated email sequence to kind of point out to that person, hey, you have this, you have this within your cart, and you kind of just need to take that additional step in terms of either putting your credit card information or just hitting that submit button down the line. So that was kind of it in terms of the overall landing page and the Facebook ads. Let's take a look at let's go back to the landing page, and I'll just show you if you were to choose some of the other options. Then I'll jump into kind of the emails that I got from them over the last several days to see what's working and where else they could see some improvements as well. The emails, I just want to come back to the landing page and kind of just show you visually what a great job they did in terms of the overall landing page, in terms of giving you a little bit more information. So say you came to this landing page and you weren't sure exactly what BarkBox was all about and you want a little bit more information. So here's where, and again, they could point you to this to kind of get you scrolling a little bit more, point to, if you want to learn a little bit more information, just scroll down. But if you were just going to do that intuitively, here's where you get to the point where you actually get a little bit more information about what BarkBox is all about. So they talk about that subscription, get to the point where your first box is free, and then talking about like what are the benefits of that. So a month-long dog party begins. So, kind of very simple in terms of those 3 steps, but really laying it out. So if, really kind of showing you from a visual perspective in terms of the graphics, but also just in very short descriptions below that. If you're going to subscribe to BarkBox, here's exactly what you're going to get, just so the expectations are set. Here's the benefits that you're going to get all the way down the line, and it's a good thing there. And then as you go down a little bit more detail, so every single month having that theme collection. So you get those 2 toys, those all natural bags of treats, a chew. Curated from this, monthly thing that's going on. So October would be something around Halloween, maybe November is something around Thanksgiving or whatever it is, to, make it a little bit more fun and curated along the way. And then exactly, kind of mentioning below that kind of the guarantee. So if their dog doesn't like that for whatever reason, again, having some guarantee, taking away the risk from your consumers that they don't actually like what they get is really important, and kind of putting some humor around that. So showing actual dogs, talking about how one is your assistant manager and that kind of thing. And then showing some, testimonials as well. So over 2 million dogs that they have as customers, and kind of sharing some of those. So this is a great way to do that. What I would kind of challenge them to do is show me a few videos from maybe dog owners that they send to. So again, reaching out to some of your best or longest term customers and asking them to do a video testimonial, maybe of them getting their BarkBox every single month and showing how happy their dog is. I've seen that in other advertisements that this company does within their Facebook ads and elsewhere, where they have some of those videos. But it would be great to kind of hear from dog owners what they what was their experience like in kind of getting these BarkBoxes every single month. What is that anticipation like? Kind of showing, and talking about how much their dogs really enjoy getting those boxes and how that comes through would be really powerful as well, rather than kind of just these individual texts that are out there. So it could be really short, 1 to 2 minutes from a couple different dog owners that talk about their experience and how much they love BarkBoxes. And that's really going to kind of signal to their audience as well, like, okay, here's somebody just like me that owns a dog, kind of talking about the story and how this product has benefited them in some way. And it's a great way to kind of bring that experience to life a little bit more versus just having kind of these text testimonials. And then adding some credibility along with that, talking about how all these different media outlets where their product is talked about. So very good job in kind of hitting those key main points within the landing page. Anybody that comes to this page for the first time, they can go through that page and get a good sense of what BarkBox is all about, how it could help them, some of the guarantees, testimonials, and some credibility along the way. What they could potentially add to that is maybe a little bit more about their brand story, like why was this, what was the origination of this, how has it evolved along the way to kind of bring it more to life a little bit. If you want to institute some of those founders as well, that's helpful as well. Maybe, some of the people behind the brand is helpful just to kind of build that relationship. And again, to kind of get away from discounting and throwing in free toys all the time, but more kind of differentiating your company versus all the other ones out there by really sharing that story is really powerful. So kind of thinking about that as well. So let's jump into the emails that I got from them to give you a sense of how they kind of continuing what they're doing here on the landing page and kind of continuing that relationship with you if you do opt in to anything on their page and give you, if you gave them your email address. Take a look at the email. So, since I joined their email list a few days ago, I only got 2 emails from them. So obviously definitely an opportunity to kind of send me more emails to kind of capture my attention and kind of capitalize on the fact that I just joined your email list a few days ago. Let's get some more emails out to me to try and get that, different offers in front of me to hopefully get some revenue and get some more, a higher ROI on your Facebook ads or whatever you're using. So, build that relationship over time and put some emails in front of them, and you're going to see a higher return on investment if you're doing those emails in the right way. So, let's take a look at, in terms of the 2 here. So the first one I got, a nonstop puppy party. So that's a pretty unique subject line. The other one's a sneak peek inside your dog's BarkBox. So if I open this up, kind of looks very much like a e-commerce, typical emails you see where it's kind of full of graphics, which is really cool if you're looking at, some of the ones down here. So in terms of like going down and seeing that this is kind of animated as well, and kind of that guy popping out of the box. So it gives you an idea of what's out there. But again, it makes it look like an ad as well. So like, okay, I open this up, they have the graphic here, like, what is BarkBox going to sell me now, instead of trying to build a relationship through kind of more text-based emails so that you can kind of send them stuff that isn't always offer and discount and free toy led, but how can we kind of tell the story of our brand? What are some of the success stories that our consumers have? What are some of the other questions that potential prospects might have before they sign up for one of our monthly boxes? Like, think about, kind of those objections and hesitations that your prospects might have, and try to answer them in your emails so you can get somebody from being a lead to that customer right away, and making it a little less, kind of design focused. But, I do like some of these in terms of using the animation, but also some of the dogs to kind of bring it more to life. But I think you can kind of bring some more text, some more content to this email to kind of build that relationship, especially with the first email. One of the key things you always want to do is try and get a response from that lead. And anytime you do, that kind of signals to their email service provider that, okay, this is not kind of a more spam-based email. If they're replying to it, it's probably something that they want to receive more often. And if they do reply to it, you tend to be, all your subsequent emails will tend to be in that primary folder versus spam or promotional. So it's important in the first few emails to get them in the habit of not only opening your email, but replying to it, clicking through, and whatever you have to kind of, establish that habit and hopefully get to the point where they become a customer pretty quickly. And again, here's they talk about a little bit, but, some of their mission, some of that in terms of, taking that beyond clicks. So I'd have to learn a little bit more about that by hitting the Start BarkBox, button. So here's an opportunity to get a little bit more about, like, what is your mission? How is this actual company created? What are some of their inspirational, what are some of their values as well? And how can I develop that relationship with my lead there? Again, they talk about all about, when you join, setting expectations a little bit. I like how they're kind of using the graphics, but making a little bit, kind of those key points that you might need, 3 or 4 points that you might need if you are interested in that. But again, providing a little bit more information about what's out there, what additional emails I might have. Here's a great opportunity to have a few bullet points on saying, like, I'm going to send you a few emails over the next 5 to 7 days about these things, so that I can look out for those emails and get excited about that instead of it just being a very promotional or design heavy email. Again, you want to develop that relationship where people are kind of opening up your emails, clicking through, responding as much as possible. And that's how you're going to develop a relationship with people right away, whether they're ready to sign up for your service right now or in the future. Recognize that certain people will be on certain levels of awareness where they're ready to buy right now, or some people need a little bit more time to learn a little bit more about your company or service before they're ready to buy. And email is a great way to start building that know, like, and trust. So here's where they kind of get into a little bit more. And, this would kind of be my question is like, okay, BarkBox, like, what is, if I'm interested in this, I clicked on the Facebook ad, it seems interesting. Like, what exactly am I going to get within this box? So they have the graphic here in terms of giving you a sense, kind of like setting expectations. If I signed up today, what would one potentially look like? So they talked about their themes, again, Halloween theme right here. And then talking about how every dog is unique and that. So again, I gave them a lot of information on their landing page in terms of like talking about my dog. So they could, kind of segment their list. And it seems like they're a big enough company that they could segment their list by breed, by size of the dog, all those kind of things, and make these a little bit more personalized in terms of the toys and things like that, so that you're kind of speaking directly to what my dog is all about and things like that. So being more specific is going to tend to get you a better relationship with your readers and lead to them buying a little bit more. And it's really important, especially in these first few emails, if you have the information that they gave you, using that to your advantage and really building that relationship as well. So, those were kind of the 2 emails that I got. What are the other emails that they could potentially include? Any common questions, that kind of the FAQ type of email that they might have in terms of this overall boxes that they get. So anything that they get from customer service, what people are asking about, put that in there as an email. The other things they should, put in there are a little bit more about the brand story, like how was this overall company started? How has it evolved over time? Sharing some of those success stories. Again, I'd love to hear a couple success stories of dog owners that started this service and have grown to love it over a long period of time, and how their dogs are really enjoying that process, and maybe a couple of links to some of those videos and video testimonials that they might have. The other part is like, in terms of emails, maybe thinking about like, what are the other options that my, prospects have? Like, what are the other options in the market that they could go out? I'm sure there's other, goodie boxes for dogs. And just putting out an email that kind of talks about why, your offering is way better than all the other rest. So, kind of being in your consumer's shoes and saying like, okay, I know you have all these other options, but let me lay out kind of one by one why our product is superior to that, and make it beyond price. So, talk about the quality of the products, maybe all natural is something that's important to their prospects, kind of being very more specific, but kind of sitting in your prospect's shoes and saying like, okay, they have these menu of options. Let's go through one by one and show you why every other competitor that is out there is flawed, and why signing up for BarkBox is your best possible option that's out there. And again, future ones along the way to, kind of collect information. So I gave you, within this landing page, I gave them a lot of information, but there's, additional opportunities to fill out surveys and things like that to get a better idea of those people that didn't sign up after a few emails. Maybe what's holding them back? What are those hesitations or objections? And how can we kind of put out specific emails that kind of address those up front to kind of clear the way to them signing up for a subscription and doing it that way as well. And I know this company owns other brands as well, so that's another opportunity to put some other offers in front of the leads and getting some higher return on investment there as well. So if they're not ready to sign up for a BarkBox, or even if they are, like what other potential options can you put in front of them that might be relevant to them as well. So, that I really hope you kind of like this funnel breakdown in terms of this dog company, BarkBox. Again, I see it kind of just within my package room, seeing more and more of this company showing up. And I know plenty of people are spending a lot of money on their dogs every single month and year. So it's a growing company within a growing industry. So obviously opportunities for improvement within their funnel to get a little bit higher return on investment. But I think they did a really good job of putting some design elements there to kind of capture their audience's attention, but really kind of systematically thinking about that checklist of what do their consumers need to know and what do they need to get to the point where they're ready to sign up for this box, giving a good sense of what to expect if they do sign up right away. So again, if you love this analysis, let me know in the comments what you thought was stuck out to you. If you were going to get a free toy for your dog, if you do own a dog or a pet, would you have gone with the Joe Biden one or the Donald Trump one? Let me know in the comments. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Every single week, I'm coming out with a funnel breakdown. You'll get to see it across various different industries. So did it in the dog space, but I've done it in a series of other industries as well. So you'll kind of see the best practices that are really working for companies, where you can see the best possible improvements so that you can build a funnel for your company that really takes it to the next level and increases your return on investment over time. So till next week, take care.